Man, every time I've seen you, I feel like over the last 3 years since we've really been jamming together, you've always had a journal with you. When did that start for you?
That's a great question. As long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Like I just have a habit. Right now we're just talking, right?
I mean, you walked in and you were like, can I have this journal?
I need it because
like,
there's something that will come up that I got to write down.
Yeah.
It's just an innate thing. But I've always enjoyed writing things down because how frustrating is it when you had a thought or you talked about something or you committed to something or you promised you would do something. And then you're like, shit, what was that?
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's it's super annoying.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I try to remove the annoyance out of my life as much as possible. Life is already complicated as it is. I don't need it more complicated. So I just had a tendency of just writing things down. And it's a great way. And I didn't even know it at that time when I started this process that how beneficial it would become for me at a later on years down the road.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I'm trying to think back. What is my first... I definitely have an echelon journal for sure.
Yeah.
And that was years ago.
Oh, for sure.
So I would always write things down.
When you started really kind of bringing more responsibility or that's when you're like, okay, I need something to...
I'd probably say I've had to peg it probably about 10, 15 years ago.
Wow. Yeah.
And I mean, I've lost some, but I mean, I still have I can go back and recall. I always keep them.
So it started out primarily as I got to stop forgetting shit.
Yep.
But I feel like it's become more than that for you.
It is.
Yeah.
For sure. Because now it's just there's so many amazing things that are said or things that happen that, it's out of sight, out of mind. If you write it down and then just go back and just even a glimpse of it. I wish I had the books right now. We could just probably open one up. It's like, oh, look, hear this one. Right. And I found that to be very rewarding for myself. Right. It might be a quote or it might be something that somebody said or it might be something that I might have said that I wrote it down or thought about, an idea, a concept or a thought. It's not just a to-do checklist, right? I mean, you have Monday for that, but But this is just for me to just whatever comes and I feel at that moment, I write it down.
How often are you, I guess, sort of reviewing or, I mean, auditing and not necessarily the right word, but going back
to
stuff?
I think when I need to come up with something that's authentic and that's genuine to me, I go back to it because if it didn't strike a chord, at that time, I would never wrote it down. Right.
I see.
So then I'm able to kind of weave in and out of time and what that meant for me at that time. Right. And why.
What value do you feel like it's brought to you beyond, initially, like you said, keeping track of things? How has it really either changed how you're going through life or how you're experiencing life since you've been doing that?
Very easy.
Yeah.
You can see your growth. You can measure it.
Yeah.
Right. Imagine being able to measure your growth and you going back to the things you were trying to accomplish or things you were trying to do.
Yeah.
And then things you've done and where you're at.
It sounds like taking photos of yourself going to the gym.
It is. Well, okay. I don't know.
But it's
I don't do the selfies at gym, but but pretty much.
Well, you see the progress. You get to go back and see, this is the snapshot of what I looked like.
I'm taking a picture of my brain at that time.
Yeah. So
I love that. That's really, I mean, I would say that's been really rewarding, right? Because there's definitely been times where I go back, I was like, I wonder what I was doing 3 years ago. Right? Right. It's like, what was I really working on? And then you go back and it's like, oh shit, surpass that.
Here we go.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and it's not just like monetary goals, like, I want to get, this big. It's just simple things like, God, I remember if I open it up, it would be on October 21st, 2019.
Yeah.
If I had to recall that date. Numbers again. It was simple as I want to meditate once a week.
Yeah.
Right? And it hasn't been that long. 2019 was 4 years ago.
Yep.
Right? But now, meditation is becoming part of my daily routine.
Yeah, exactly.
And not like before, trying to meditate for 5 minutes was taking a needle and trying to put myself in the eye, right?
Just close your eyes.
Now I can do it for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Right? Which is just amazing.